Hey everybody, I promised to do a video about how I put my rabbit hutches together out of wire closet shelving, such as the Closet Made brand. And I apologize, I got roosters in all my videos, it seems like, in the background. The second I start talking, they start making noise. You can see them right there, little jerks. I got quite a few. But anyway, so in my rabbitry, I use 16-inch wide closet-made shelving panels, and I use two kinds. One is called linen panels, and they're just kind of their standard panels, and then the other is called a close mesh, and hopefully I said that correctly. And what it is the wire on it is much closer together than on just your standard panels. And so the close mesh is what I use for the bottom of the cages, and it's usually twice the price of everything else. And so I'll do a quick little rundown for you of what it costs to do two 32-inch by 36-inch rabbit hutches, because I buy the closet shelving panels in 6-foot lengths. It's easier for me to use, it's easier for me to transport in my vehicle. And each for the closed mesh, each 16-inch by 6-foot panel is $17.74, so about $18. And you need two for each bottom of the cage. So there's $36 for the bottom of the cage. Then the standard 16-inch by 6-foot closet shelving is $11.94. This is the price I pay in Northern California. We're not the cheapest in the land up here. It's California. But they're $11.94, so basically $12. And you're going to need two pieces for each top of your 6-foot section. So that's $24, and I'm doing this off the top of my head, so my math when I add it up is going to be way off. But if you're taking notes, anyway, you're going to need two 6-foot pieces for the top, you're going to need a 6-foot piece for the front, and you're going to need a 6-foot piece for the back. So that's $48 in just your 6-foot pieces. Then you're going to need, for your divider and your two end caps, you're going to need another two pieces, and you're only going to use 1.5. So we have 48 plus another 24. Is that 72? Don't laugh. I do have a high school education, one never knew. Anyway, so that means you need a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You need 6 of your standard 16-inch by 6-foot, and you need 2 of your closed mesh panels that are 6-foot by 16-inch. And those, again, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So those 8 panels will give you enough wire to do two 32-inch by 3 feet hutches. And pardon me, I'm in here and I'm breathing in the dust. Then what you need also, I'm going to reach over and grab it, is you can use hog rings. You can use, I use shoat rings. There's pig rings, shoat rings, and hog rings, and I don't know the difference. They all look exactly the same to me, although hog rings are slightly bigger. So you're going to need hog rings, pig rings, shoat rings, and you're going to need some hog ring pliers. The other thing you will need is some way to cut your 6-foot panels for your end caps and your divider. My husband has a shop full of tools, and so what I use is a cordless grinder. I guess it's handheld, it's got a grinding wheel, and I just cut through at the length I need. It's super easy. I'm sure some sort of heavy-duty wire cutter would take care of it, no problem. I just find that the grinding wheel, I just did, I cut all the pieces for this one I'm going to build right now, and it took me less than 5 minutes. So that's why I use that. I have it available. So that is, as I'm running through, that's it, what you need. And so the reason, a couple of reasons, seriously, dudes, something's upset them. I don't know what, my dog just ran off to see. The reason I use these is I feel they're way more heavy duty. I would like to get through this video. I've been trying for an hour to try to talk. And every time I open my mouth, something happens. I can hear the pigs in the background, the chickens, the goats. I can hear horses crunching on their dinner. It seems like every video I'm apologizing for some sort of noise. But you guys know, you live on a farm. I mean, it is what it is. I just feel I have a melodious voice, apparently, because my animals want to sing with me. So as I was saying, the reason I use these is a couple of reasons. I do have a couple, and I'll see if I can swing this around. I have a couple of your standard rabbit hutches here. What I don't like about them is they're fairly flimsy. I do have, you know, the legs and the pans and all of that to stack them. I hate having to reach in to get a rabbit, and then if they don't want to come out, you're fighting your way out. To me, this is a personal preference. This is just how I do things. So anything I state in this is going to be an opinion. So please, and I'm super opinionated, and I apologize. No, I don't. I am who I am. These are too small, I think, for my rabbits. That's just my personal opinion. I would like them to have a bigger cage. So I've built these at 32 inches by 36 inches. And my rabbits have, I think, enough room. Sometimes I look at those cages and I think that they're too small also. But anyway, so the wire's pretty thin, which is kind of was the big deal for me. There's not enough space. So on these, when you look at these rabbit, come on chickens, give me a break. So when you're looking at these pens, the next reason I really like them is the access is from the top. See if I can get my camera to stay. And so I'm somewhat short. I don't think I'm unique in that. But I can fold the top open. I can reach in anywhere, get the boards out. I can clean. I can pick up a rabbit out of here. I have full access to this cage. They're 16 inches tall. I have not yet had a rabbit jump out of the top of these. I'm not saying it won't happen. I just have not had it happen. We do have, in my rabbitry, it is within a cage, like an aviary, and I have a door right there, and it's open. So if my rabbits were to jump out at this moment, they could escape out the door. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But, and the way I have it set up is the 6-foot cage. I could take this and cut this down the middle, and then I would just be opening one cage at a time. And at some point I may do that. On the other side, I have bucks that I take to does, or does that I take to bucks right next to their bucks. And I can lift up the double, move the doe to the buck, and I'm just doing one motion. So I like that. So that's another reason I like these. Also, these are really heavy duty. They're very easy for me to put together. So hopefully I've done enough explanation on that. Now I will attempt to move on to the building portion of this sequence. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a 3-foot cage onto here for one of my bucks. And as I had said before, the bottom panels are closed mesh, and I'll grab them. I have them outside here. And as you're looking at, let's see if I can illustrate the difference real quickly between this is your standard linen, and then this is your closed mesh. And I hope you can see that, but this is how wide the standard linen is. And then in the space of two of these right here, there's 3 wires. So the wires are much closer together. They're much sturdier, actually. They also have more support kind of across it here. And so there's more of them. They're sturdier. It's what's needed for the bottom. So what I'm going to do, so I'll take the closed mesh and I'll put it on the bottom there. I got my hog rings, or my shote rings, as they actually are, but I'll probably keep calling them hog rings. And I got my hog ring pliers. And this really is so simple. And so I'm going to come down here, get it somewhat close, and attempt to move her. And now, there we go. Okay, so I don't think you can see this, but basically I'm hog ringing the bottom panel. See if I can get you in there without dropping the camera. No promises. Hopefully you can see that. I can't tell from here, but I hope you can see that. So I just put a hog ring in and hog ring the new panel to the existing cage. And I'm going to do it in 3 or 4 places. And the existing cage, this becomes the end cap or the divider for my new cage. Okay, so I got that there. Then I'm going to take my next closed mesh. And so I don't know if you can see, yeah, I think you can. The shelving comes with a lip on it. For the bottom, I have in the back the lip going up, and in the front, the lip is again going up, and it'll become apparent why, hopefully, as I move along. So I will go through, and then in the back, I hog ring my panels together in the middle. It's kind of going to be a long video because I'm not super quick at this, and really I am not good at editing. I'm fairly somewhat competent at videoing, and I'll let you be the judge. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, okay, so I got that wired there. Now I'm going to put the back on, and I'm just going to tack it in a few places so that I can kind of move along and show you how it goes together. So now I'm done with my closed mesh. You only need it for the bottom. And so basically for a 3-foot cage, I used 1 length of closed mesh at $17.74, I think it was, so $18 for this. 1 length of closed mesh does or a linen, standard linen shelving, and the 16-inch does the back and the front. You're putting your lip up in the back, and then I have a 32-inch side piece that will go right here, like that. And I will hog ring all of these together to tack them in place. There. Okay. So it's basically just tacked in place. And I'm going to tack it in the back, a couple places back there, and then attach it over here. There we go. Okay. So you're kind of starting to get the idea here. Perfect. There. So I already have, quite quickly, 3 sides to my pen. And it's pretty sturdy. I do have supports on the bottom. It's a big cage. Okay, so for my front, the lip goes, trying to see how I did the other one. Oops, pardon me. I'm actually on this one going to put the lip on the bottom on this one. And the reason being is I'm going to cut out for my J feeder here, and it'll slip in. And then also when I hang my bottles, I can hang them, and this can be the support for the waterers. And so the lip goes on the bottom. Now we'll get my, as my husband says, my fuzzy head in the way here real quick. And get these pens together. There. Alright, so you can start to see how sturdy it is. These are decent rabbits. I have New Zealand's. Pardon me. I have New Zealand's and Californians and lilacs. And they are decent sized rabbits for sure. And these cages support them no problem. So it looks like when I was making my video, the video cut out after I had put the sides on my pin. And so you weren't able to watch how I put the top on, but hopefully I'll be able to explain it since I'm done building my cages for a little while. So this panel right here is another 36-inch panel. And the back panel is secured on all 3 sides to the bottom sides with the hog rings. I have the shelf part of it, or the lip, up. I just like that because I will set stuff on top of the cage, and if the rabbits are running around or I'm opening the cage or whatever, it doesn't slip off the back. It just sets right there. So the top panel is fully adhered. The door, which is the openy part, is only secured to the back panel in 3 or 4 spots along there, which allows it to open and close. And I have the overhang, the lip, edge, whatever you want to call it, down, and that it goes over. And what I can do is, and I haven't needed to, but for this, I only have 2 cages that are 3 foot in length, and the lid is not as heavy, so I may put like a D-ring here when I put my buck in here, just so that he can't jump up and lift the cage, or I'll do a snap ring or something that's easy to get in and out quickly for me. But so the cages, it came together. It's quite sturdy. I'm really pleased with these. Again, I'd mentioned I have California and I have New Zealand's. And there's one of my broken New Zealand's. Her name is Angelica, for Angelica Houston. She is, of course, known as Morticia Adams. But this is Morticia. Hi, Morticia. She's horrid. But she's pretty. Anyway, as I was saying, I really like these. These over here are ones I did a couple of years ago. And these 3 are new. They've only been in maybe a month. This one, of course, is brand new. So those 2 have only been in maybe a month. This one's brand new. It's been in a couple of hours. These 2 here and these 2 here were some of my original ones. So the white does fall off as the rabbits, chew and whatnot. But I've not had it be an issue for the rabbits. You'll have to determine for yourselves if you decide to go this route, if that's what you want to do. But in this portion of my rabbitry, we are set up for 8 rabbits. And I don't have, it's not set up for double hanging. I know a lot of people like to have double stacking rabbit cages. You have more rabbits in a space, and because I'm short, I hate climbing into cages through the front. This is just easier for me. It's just the way I like doing it. We instead have opted to, as we need more space, we just extend out. We have the space, we can do that. We just move the chickens to another chicken pen and then continue on that way. But this is what works for us. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope it makes sense. I hope I was able to explain correctly the pricing. It ends up being, I think, for a 6-foot double cage. So like a 6-foot double cage, when you buy you need 1 box of hog rings. You need 1 hog ring pliers. Basically, 1 6-foot cage uses an entire box of hog rings. The hog ring pliers, of course, you can use again and again. They're $6, $10. You're looking at $34 for 2 6-foot, 17-inch close mesh bottom panels. 6 standard linen panels run just over $70. It ends up being about $122 for all the stuff to do a double hole or double pen 6-foot cage. If you only wanted to do 2-foot by 36-inch, it's the exact same amount of money, because then you just throw in your extra divider you didn't use. As I explained in the beginning of the video, your 6th panel for this, you're only using half of it. You're only using half of it. So if you wanted to make these 2 feet by 3 feet, you could throw another divider in, space this over here, and then you'd have a 4-hole cage for the same price. Or a 3-hole cage. My math is horrid, but you'd have a 3-hole cage for the same price as a 2-hole cage, and you're just using your materials up. So anyway, thank you for watching my video. Again, I hope it was informative, and I really, really appreciate you taking the time to look at it. Thank you very much.